You jump out at 13,500 feet and then have less than a minute to perform the routine you've spent all year working on. Despite the air rushing past at up to 180 miles per hour, you somehow keep in perfect time with your partner and the third member of the team who is videoing your moves for the judges below.
I tend to think it's more of a dance. The fact that you're hurtling to the ground at 180 miles an hour is irrelevant. You're just focusing on you and your other performer and the cameraman. Everything's pretty much the opposite, so if I want to go forward, I have to push my body backwards because it's the deflection of the air. So I'm using my body pretty much like an aircraft wing. That's how we move around the sky.
The British team, who are amateurs, defied the odds, finishing 4th at the World Championships this year, just behind the paid professional teams from Russia and France, and ahead of the Dubai team, which has 500 practice jumps a year, funded by the government. One of the reasons the British team can compete now, despite their inferior funding, is the rise of the indoor wind tunnels, where Dave and Paul can perfect their performance. The boom in the number of these indoor skydiving tunnels around the country has really helped the sport lift off to new heights. But they say this is only the beginning, with the youngsters now coming through. It means Poppy and Ella, aged 11 and 12, are already flying beyond their years, having never done a proper skydive before, as they learn their first tandem moves.
It's fun, and at the same time it's scary, because you're scared you're going to crash, and if you crash, you'll crash into someone else. Going up in the air would be really scary.
So you're quite happy to just do it in a tunnel?
Yeah.
Take your hands and go like this, like that, and then you're going to turn around like this.
Paul is now hoping that by getting whole families started in the classroom and then tunnels, the British team will have a wealth of talent to choose from in the future. But I found on my first few flights it was just about keeping a stable position, a challenge enough, before I was whisked up and down to get a sense of the speed and the power of the wind.
It takes quite a lot of time, so you go to belly, then to back, and then to sit.
The tunnels are also helping the sport reach skydivers of all physical abilities, with Paul coaching servicemen and women who have lost limbs, eventually taking them into the sky to try the routines that Paul and Dave will soon be working on ahead of the 2015 World Championships over Canada. And with numbers taking up the sport back home indoors soaring, they believe the sky really is now the limit.
And back to reality!
Mike Bushell, BBC News, coming back down to earth.